Hi, it's Matt Stone of 180 Degree Health. Last week in the podcast, we talked about weight loss and some of the pitfalls, such as when you're losing lean body mass, you're destined to basically slow down your fat burning capacity and induce massive hunger. That's not really a good combo. It's not what you're looking for. That almost invariably leads to increased proportion of body fat in proportion to your lean body mass. That's not what you're looking for. So that's something I really honed in on carefully. But there was something that came up in my last blog post in the comments. I think we got up close to 300 comments by the time this emerged. But I brought up Seth Roberts, who is a psychologist who has a different theory of obesity. And I'm not saying that I'm convinced that this is the holy grail of all things, but I did want to discuss it because I think it's very interesting, and it points yet another finger at food processing and also flavor enhancers like MSG, aspartame, some of those very strong, highly flavored substances. Seth Roberts believes in something called the weight set point, or the ponderstat. It's a great word. What he believes basically is that our brain formulates these flavor-calorie associations. So basically, if you pair a lot of calories with a very intense flavor, it becomes highly addictive and has this strange ability to raise the body fat, the body weight set point. And what Seth has created sounds really strange, but he developed a hypothesis, and he did one of those self-experimentation deals, which I'm a big fan of. But he did this dietary adventure where he was taking calories that were totally flavorless and trying to rewire the circuitry, and found that it really had this massive hypophagic response, or in other words, it had an anorexic response where he was not as hungry, and automatically reduced his calorie consumption because he was not hungry, and he lost weight. And it didn't cause any, didn't have to delve into any willpower or anything like that. He basically just was able to get this going spontaneously. So he wrote a diet book about it, and it's called the Shangri-La Diet. And I think that Seth, in cutting calories and not eating much, probably does some metabolic harm. And when I originally read the book, it seemed pretty evident that he basically was just using an appetite suppressant, a psychological technique, by consuming flavorless calories to achieve this. But it's a good way to lose lean body mass if you don't do it correctly. If you just cut calories, oh, I'm hungry on only 1,000 calories a day, this is great. Well, you can definitely do harm to your body whether you're hungry or not. So I'm not saying that this is the be-all, end-all. But the three primary factors in Seth Roberts' theory are basically the speed of absorption or ingestion. So food processing, liquids, beverages like juices or Pepsi, Coca-Cola, those kind of products that are highly sweetened with high-fructose corn syrup. And fructose, keep in mind, is sweeter than any other sugar, so it has a more addictive quality. And the fact that high-fructose corn syrup is higher in fructose than white sugar, which was 50% fructose and was already really addictive and was already really high in fructose, is pretty significant. And I think it probably has a lot to do with the actual taste of it, not any kind of impact that it has on the liver or lipogenesis that is created in the liver or any of that Gary Taubes kind of stuff. It has more to do, according to Seth Roberts, and he could be accurate in the intensity of the flavor. One reason I think this might be accurate is because aspartame, which is lots sweeter, much sweeter than fructose or any other natural sugar, is associated with obesity. I know a lot of obese people that seem to, like, they can't get enough of these diet drinks. I see that time and time again. Of course, Are they drinking diet drinks because they're overweight, or are they overweight but because they're drinking diet drinks? There is a study out there that showed that actually people who drank a lot of diet drinks tended to gain weight much faster than those that drank regular soda. Very interesting indeed. So there could be a lot of merit to that. Now, this very intense, highly sweetened flavor needs to be paired with a lot of calories to get that psychological effect. Basically, it's tapped into our natural reward centers, and having a lot of calories that absorb really quickly and that have a strong flavor associated with that are basically those foods that make you fat, according to Seth Roberts. So again, you're looking at, well, calories aren't really the main factor. It's really the processing, the flavor intensity that has the most impact, and the calorie density. And of course, the food business, the food manufacturers, the fast food restaurant industry, these guys are masters of making food as addictive as it can be, activating those pleasure centers in our brain. It's good business for them, and I think they probably are. What they do, add MSG, adding aspartame, adding lots of sugar to foods, supersizing drinks, and all those kind of things. There's a very strong correlation between those types of foods and obesity, more so than just eating a lot of calories or eating a lot of fat, but mixing it all together with a highly powerfully tasting substance. So anyways, it's an interesting theory. Definitely won't get those same kind of highs from eating natural foods, because natural foods just don't have that type of unnatural flavor intensity, and they cannot be ingested at such a rate as a soda. So yeah, it's an interesting thing. I thought I'd share it with you guys. If you guys want to check it out, go. I'm not sure what his site is, but if you Google Seth Roberts, you'll find his diet. Interesting information, and I certainly have had nothing but good results eating foods that are natural, that aren't highly sweetened. I don't have out of control hunger when I eat that way. I've improved my body composition in general since I began. There's been fluctuations within that due to dietary experiments like the vegan diet, but in general, it's been very successful for me. So, anyways, that's food for thought for you guys for this week. We'll get back into something good soon, and that's it for me. Thanks again, Matt Stone of 180 Degree Health.